Hi y'all. I want to quickly go over the first law of thermodynamics for open systems really quick. Um, so you've probably seen maybe your teacher in class use the same first law, but maybe in a different method that I do, and I just wanted to explain the differences really quick. I guess we could talk about it for a closed system as well. Oops. So for a closed system, we know that Q minus W equals delta U, right? Where this Q is changing heat, this W is net work. Well, okay, so I should say this Q is net heat, this W is net heat, and then this delta U is the change in internal energy. Okay? Um, it's important to note that these are nets. So this is net work as well as net heat. And it's sort of the same thing that we get with an open system. Now, remember, this means that we're dealing with like mass flow rates and everything, right? So we can also bring like the Q dots into play. Now, when you see me use a dot, right, you might see, so you might have seen first law described by something like this. Um, And this is basically the first law, right? This just basically says that okay, and all of this equals 0, right? So basically, this is just saying that the Q net again minus W net again plus all of our mass flow rates multiplied by these things right here. Now, I want us to realize the similarities between the closed systems and the open systems. We see that Q minus W, right, is also equal. If I moved this to this side and everything, in a way, right, that'd sort of be like our change in energy, right? And this is also energy conservation. But this energy also takes into account, you might know that enthalpy is that U that we saw before plus like PV, for example. So that gets added on. We also have this kinetic energy and this potential energy, right? We have to take all of this into account for an open system. Now, the way I like to do it is separating my ins and outs. One thing I want to emphasize is that this can also be written like this. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and talk about it for a closed system as well again. But we'll get back to that. But this can also be written like this. And I feel like this is a little bit more confusing. I'm just going to put this down here. You're adding them together. But I feel like this is a little bit more confusing. And I feel like this is more confusing because at times it's sort of difficult to remember what is in or to recognize what is in and what is out. And we tend to get confused. So I don't want to even deal with this whole thing right here, this whole thing right here. I mean, let me not say it's difficult to recognize what is in and out, but I feel like doing it where you have things on both sides of the equations makes it a little bit easier. Especially because you have to remember to take this as your. So we have a convention, right? Q in is taken as positive, but work out is taken as positive, right? While Q out is taken as negative and work in is taken as negative. To me, that can be a little bit confusing. However, if I have something like this, why separate all of my ins from all of my outs? And I'm sorry. Right? This sort of says the same thing, right? But the difference here is I know what is on what side, right? For example, if I have a compressor, right, I know that a compressor takes work in. Automatically, I know that a compressor doesn't have work out, right? If the compressor is adiabatic, boom, boom, that is gone too, right? Now, right, if it's only one inlet and one outlet, I can not worry about the whole addition of outlets, right? And I think it's important to note that these sigma signs basically denote if you have more than one outlet, that you add them together, right? But if it's one outlet, right, you're just adding that one thing, right? So it's you don't have to worry about it if it's just one outlet. Most times we deal with just one outlet, but it's also important to note this. And again, if it's like a stationary system, right, where it's not moving, changing in like height, those go away too, right? Well, let me not say that they go away. Now, for example, right, this goes to zero, right? If it's adiabatic. If it's workout, that goes to zero. However, in a way, you could say that the PE goes to zero if it doesn't move, but like I want to emphasize that this PE is probably the same as this PE if it didn't move, right? Likewise, if there's no change in kinetic energy, same thing. So then we're left with something like it's simple algebra. We take this into account and these into account, right? And that's what it becomes. Now, if we're dealing with like a turbine, we know that we just do the opposite. A turbine has work out, but it doesn't have work in. Things like that. So you want to take that into account. And likewise, the first law can be looked at like this as well. But the first law, it's a little bit, we don't really have the whole, I mean, I don't know how to do it with like work in, work out, like on separate sides and everything. But see, even look at how I just got confused. But like this is the first law for a closed system is what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying? So it's still that Q minus W equals delta U. But you just have to know that your Q is negative if it's going out and your work is negative if it's coming in. So I think it's a little bit easier to just look at this, for at least for open systems, that is, to look at this equation and say like, hey, hey, I have this, so I can just cross things out on both sides to make sure that I know what is going on with my first law. So I think that's about all I wanted to let you know. If anything was unclear, please go ahead and just leave comments in the comment section and let's keep learning, okay? Thank y'all.